Okay. Let's get this show on the road, guys. If you can hear me, if you can see me, and you guys are ready to make some money this week, yo, let me get an 888 in the chat. An 888 in the chat. Sheesh. Come on, let's go, man. I'm super excited for this call. Woo! Now, if you were on last week's call, you guys would have known that obviously we called out some levels. We obviously had a crazy psychologist on the call as well. He was dropping a lot of nuggets. So with no further ado, I mean, let's just get into the actual charts. So I'm going to show you guys obviously the kind of the watch list I'm looking at this week. I'm going to show you guys obviously different currencies I'm looking at and the levels I'm looking at to take trades on. Now, when I trade, again, I'm not the type of trader, like when these levels I'm going to call out, I'm not the type of trader that's going to take buys or sells directly from these levels. I need to see specific things at these levels for me to enter trades. What are the specific things? Well, again, if you're in the team, obviously you're going to know that, but we'll kind of get into that. So the first currency on the list we've got this week is CAD CHF. Now, when it comes to CAD CHF, if we start off on a higher time frame, let's say we're on our daily, our daily and even weekly levels, we are at a weekly level of supply, right? Overall, on a higher time frame, supply is in control. But when we actually take things down to the daily time frame, I'll kind of show you what we're looking at. Now, my main agenda for something like this, my main agenda is obviously to look for the sell side. Now, obviously, we're in a sticky situation right now because we're not at a clear point of interest. I mean, this is the thing. So for me, to look for sells at the moment, I'm not going to be looking for sells just yet. This thing for me is not ripe enough. Now, if we go to a lower time frame, such as the hourly, you can see obviously that intraday and lower time frame price action is very bullish, right? Where we've got a lot of demand present because we're creating higher highs and higher lows. So we could potentially actually hedge ourselves in for the shorts. Because how I'm seeing this is we've got this imbalance up here, right? 736, let's just make it 73600. 73600. Price could be magnetized to this level where we could see that final stage of the distribution. Now, in order for me to hedge and take a buy, I would have to see some very clear price action. Now, again, don't get me wrong. The narrative is towards the downside for something like this. Again, the ideal swing would be to the downside. But what we can do is we can hedge ourselves in for buys so that we can actually take the risk off the table before we even take the risk. Because if we just go to intraday, M15, we can obviously see that we're printing bullish price action. Now, again, for these buys to be present, it'd have to be a very clear accumulation in this area. If we don't see clear accumulation, then I wouldn't take the trade because, again, these equal lows, the higher time frame supply, again, it is downside agenda. So for me, my thought process now is saying, okay, I could potentially, if I see a nice accumulation, maybe on M5, or even a smaller break above these internal liquidity, pull back, then we could maybe take it higher, at least target these equal highs here, this liquidity here, to take us up to, again, to kind of fill this imbalance at 73600, tap into this supply zone, this distribution here, and then obviously, again, see that distribution occur, manipulation of the highs, break structures to the downside, and then obviously drop even lower. So again, if we don't see those specific things where we want to see it, again, I'm not looking to take the trade. Like again, we can have levels marked up, but ultimately we need to see proof of supply. We need to see proof of demand at these areas. And if we don't see proof, we don't want to be taking the trades. Because again, trading is not about you telling the market what it's going to do. It's about you listing the market and the market telling you what it's going to do. Again, the market's a language. Like when you see all these like squiggly lines and stuff, right? It's literally just a language and it's telling you what it's going to do next. All you need to do is learn to quiet your noise and understand the language and the behavior. Once you can do that, trading's not hard. Humans just make it hard. So that's CAD CHF. So obviously, again, potential longs if we get that lower time frame accumulation. If not, and we kind of break below this low here, then maybe we could get another distribution of another UTAD, and then we could take it lower because of those equal highs are being maintained there. So there are a couple of situations on CAD CHF. Obviously, higher time frames I do want to short it. And if we do come into that 73600 level, then we can expect a big swing, at least another 300 pip move, taking us down to what? Let's have a look. Let's have a look where we could potentially take this. We get a little fib extension and we kind of get a projection of the price. Where is the fib extension? Come here. Where is it? Okay, there you go. So if we go from high to low, back to a high, we could potentially take it down to basically 0.7 100. So if we can see that distribution occur, then we can take it down. Again, we've got targets as well, so it makes sense for price to go lower. CAD-J. Let's see what we see on this. Let's have a look. So we go on the high time frames. Now on our weekly time frames, again, we do actually have some equal highs up here. So I'm seeing a potential agenda to maybe come up and take care of this liquidity up here. Now, how will we get there? Well, let's have a look. If we go down to our daily time frame, we can see that we've had a clear manipulation of the lows. We've had very, very clear manipulation of these lows. Now, it would have been nice to see a breaker structure to the upside, clearing out any price supply here, but obviously we do have trendline liquidity there. So for me to take any sort of positions, again, I'll show you kind of what I'm looking at. I would need to see a very clean accumulation form in this area for me to take buys. If we don't see, again, targeting this trendline liquidity, targeting those equal highs, and obviously all this sort of liquidity and this order flow here. Again, if we don't get that, accumulation in there, then I won't be taking any buys. So what we could do on a potential intraday basis this week, we could actually take some shorts. Now this actually missed my entry by literally like 1 pip. So I didn't manage to get that short because it missed it by 1 pip. But we could actually expect potential intraday price action if you want to take maybe a hedge down. Maybe if we pull back up into the zone, distribute, we could target down, maybe fill some of this imbalance in this demand zone down here. And again, keep that hedge open. And how you play that is obviously, let's say, you're in your sell position, right? Let's say you're up, 1 to 15, 1 to 20. Close 50, 60% of your volume. And now what you can do is you can take off the risk before you've even taken the trade, right? But let's say, for example, you take the buy position right down here, and let's say the buy position stops you out and it comes and clears this low, no problem, because you've already taken the risk off the table. You're already in these shorts from up here, or potentially these levels up here. And if you're in the short from there, well, there's no risk anymore, because if it goes through, you're in the sell. So that profit from the sell will cover your stop loss. And if, for example, you get in the buy and it comes up and takes out the sell, doesn't matter, because you've closed 60, 70% of the volume anyway. And again, the profits from the buy will completely cover any sort of commissions or anything on your account, because obviously your trade would be a break even, right? So again, intraday perspective, this thing is looking kind of bearish. Again, last week we did share this level out, and it did play off very nicely, as you can see. So realistically now it's just about waiting for price now to take any new shorts. I would want it to clear this low and then pull back and then drop it lower. Now, if it clears the low, big if it clears this low, well, I'll show you the low I'm looking at. Let me clean the chart up a little bit. If it comes down and it clears, this low here at 859.50 and then taps into the demand zone starting from around 85.735, and we see an accumulation here, I'd be very hesitant about taking any more shorts, because the long-term agenda, the higher time frame reaccumulation on the 4-hour/daily may play out to come and take off these monthly equal highs that have been sitting there since, again, 2018. Again, this is a swing trade perspective. So again, I'm talking about swing trade perspective, getting those scalp entries. So yeah, let's look for that on CAD-J. What's next? G-Chef. So we did obviously play into this daily supply zone, right? Now, if we come to the lower intraday price action, we did actually just invalidate this prior supply zone here, right? At 127.890, we did just invalidate that. So what this could potentially mean now is this whole kind of area here is actually a reaccumulation. This could mean that. So in order to take any sort of potential buys for me now on something like this, and again, another area I will be mindful of if it actually starts to rally would be kind of this general area of supply at what, 1.300. 1.300 would be a very interesting level of supply to watch. But this thing could definitely be a reaccumulation because we've seen that first half distribution, we've seen price distribute, and we've seen a distribution fail to play out, and we've seen demand come into the market. How do we know demand's come into the market? Because obviously we've taken supply, right? Buyers have come into the market. There was a great volume of buyers in the market than sellers. That's why price has been rallying. So what I would want to see now to engage in any actual trades, because again, it's not about being right, it's about a direction. And that's another thing traders, they fall into the trap of. They're trying to be right on a directional bias. I don't care about being right. I care about following my rules and making money. That's why we trade, right? We trade not to be right or wrong. We trade, what's this? What gave you that proof of supply? Oh, sorry, what was that on? Was that on CAD you meant? CAD Chef? Yeah. My bad, I'll show you. So, was it CAD? Yeah, CAD, yeah. So on CAD, there was a lower time frame distro and a lower time frame breaker structure. So we can obviously see as price is trading up to it on the M1 time frame, demand, boom, free drives, distributes, invalidates any of these demands. Again, if you saw this as your structure or you saw this as your structure, either ways it invalidated all of it. And then from there, it was just a case of setting your level and then waiting for price to come back to it. And obviously, again, this was not an accumulation because it left liquidity and it just literally just missed it. It was very shy in my entry. So like 1 pip, again, 1 pip is a big difference for your stop loss. It's a big difference for your risk reward. So I didn't want to jeopardize my risk reward. So I said, you know what? It doesn't follow my rules. I'm not going to take the trade, and it just melted. And that's the thing, guys. Like as traders, man, like we're not trying to be perfect, because you don't need to be in trades all the time. Like just if it doesn't meet your rules, don't take the trade. Because if you take a trade that doesn't follow your rules, you're building the habit of becoming someone who doesn't follow your rules. And that's what Michael Jordan said. Right? He's literally said, if you quit once, you're developing the habit of being a quitter. So I see that as trading is like, well, if I'm not going to follow my rules on one trade, I don't care if it's take profit. I'm thinking about a longer term. I don't care about a quick fix, a quick profit. I care about my equity curve over time. See, a lot of traders, they're trading to get rich tomorrow. Yo, I don't give a fuck what's happening tomorrow. I care about where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. You get it? You want your equity curve to be rising over in time. And the only way you're going to do that is by having a consistent set of rules and being able to follow and execute your consistent set of rules without you getting in the way of your rules. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, family. But yeah, let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go through what I've got marked up for this week, and then obviously, if you guys have anything, then of course I can check that out. We are on YouTube as well, so if anyone on the YouTube is in the chat, we'll have a look. Okay, cool. So, how many pips do you use for that stop loss? This one was again 3.6, 1 to 35 risk reward. Cool. Next one, G Chef. I think we went over. G Chef. Where was it? Where was on G Chef? So on G Chef, obviously we manipulated this low here. Now the one thing I don't like is this trend line. Right, we've got this trend line being formed. So for me now to take any sort of buyers on G Chef to take this even higher, I would want to see firstly this inner range liquidity get taken here. I then want to see it pull back to our premium price, and I'd need to see it if it doesn't manipulate the trend line. I don't want it. I'd need to see it manipulate this trend line, and then on the come into our 2-hour institutional candle. Now, if the 2-hour institutional candle doesn't hold, I'm not going to look at this level. If the 2-hour institutional candle doesn't hold, and we don't get the accum, then maybe we could see price come into this level here. 1, 2, 5, 4, 80, let's just say. We could potentially see price come into that. And again, where would we be targeting? Again, we've got this higher time frame kind of supply at 1.2300, which would be a very interesting level to see how price reacts. It looks like it's starting to set up as a reaccumulation, to be honest. But again, right, this is why, again, we're not trying to predict, we're just trying to react and obviously let the market tell us what it wants to do. So yeah, this trend line liquidity, I'm waiting for this trend line liquidity to get taken at some area, some sort of point. And yeah, like obviously we're going to monitor 1.2700. So keep your eyes on 1.2700 on GBP CHF. If it comes down to there during London or New York overlap, then I'll definitely take it if it accumulates. If it comes during Asia, something like G Chef, I don't want it. GJ, what do I have on GJ? GJ. So super high time frames. This may be bullish, right? It may be accumulate on a weekly. I've manipulated lows. We broke structure to the upside with forming equal highs. So on something like this, On the daily time frame now, it looks like we're actually starting to potentially reaccumulate. So I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Now, when I say potential reaccumulate, we've manipulated lows here, back on April, and we've left some equal highs here. So for me, how I see this is the liquidity is now resting to the upside. Now, that's higher time frame. But again, what we can do is we can trade multi-time frame structure. Like just because a narrative is one way, or actually, let me put it like this: just because your higher time frames are bullish or bearish doesn't mean you can't take intraday hedges or intraday shorts. Now, I wouldn't recommend everyone hedging. If you're new, don't hedge. Just stick to one direction. Obviously, if you're a little bit more advanced, you can literally ping pong the market. So looking at GJ now, I want to see it kind of slightly higher time frame come into this daily institutional candle. Maybe 12-hour might look a bit better. Let's change time frame. Let's try 20-hour. No, 20 hours ugly. 21-hour, 22-hour, 18-hour. And what I'm doing here is I'm looking for the candle that has the biggest volume. So when I'm switching time frames, like the time frame's not that relevant. It's more so what's relevant is the actual the orders, so the order flows of the candles. So I'm just switching time frames just to find in this general area down here. Now 1.500, a very, very big institutional candle. If I don't see that, then I don't really have enough confidence for the position, to be honest. 10-hour, 9-hour, 8-hour, 7-hour. Come on, give me something. Come on, 6-hour, 4-hour. Okay, well, just general area at 1.500. Let's keep an eye on this level now as a potential magnet. Maybe another time we'll find that candle. And then on a kind of intraday basis, maybe this week, for me to short GJ now, because this is a redistribution, failed accumulation, it's redistributing. I'd want to see it pop below 1.5840. Once it pops below that, then I would want to see it pull back. Again, this is for me to enter a trade. I'd want to see it pull back to what, 1.51680, let's say. And then on a lower time frame, on like M15, and again we can see very nice price action. On maybe on like the M5, M3, distribute in this area, and then I'll take the shorts. Again, targeting that 1.550 level. Now, once we approach 150, once we point that level there, if we then start to accumulate again, we could then potentially expect a longer term agenda of price to come and fulfill that reaccumulation. To fulfill that reaccumulation, flap this liquidity, and obviously take it higher. So again, very conditional with the setups. And take it from there. Okay, cool. GN, let's have a look now. GN, I've been waiting for this thing for so long. It's actually ridiculous. I still haven't got a setup on it, but it's beautiful. So once this bad boy pops, oh my god, we're gonna have some disgusting trades, like 1 to 200 easy on this one. So we've got some nice liquidity here, trendline liquidity. On a weekly time frame, we're at a weekly level of supply, high that led to a new low. Now within here on our lower time frame, well, on our 4-hour time frames, we've actually started to distribute, right? Manipulation to high, manipulation to high, break of structure to the downside. So what I'm kind of looking at this now is, and we've got equal lows there, you can see that liquidity. There's a few levels I've got my eyes on now. So the first level I've got my eye on for the short is 1.9600, right? 1.9600 on GN. Now, again, for me to short that, I would want to see it distribute in that area. If we do not distribute in that area, guys, I'm not interested in it. Now, if this level fails to hold, maybe then 1.8, let's say 1.8800 could be on the cards. And again, same thing with the distribution. This would be the ideal entry, to be honest with you, from 1.8800. If we get that and we distribute from there, bro, we're talking a big move. We're talking over 1,000 pips, easy, over 1,400 pips, easy. We're talking what? Let's have a look. And again, like now, imagine having a 3 pip stop on that, catching 1,500 pips of 3 pip stop loss. Jesus, that would be the trade of your year. Yeah, look at that, over 2,000 pips. Jesus, 2.2k. Now, again, that would be a very long-term trade. So something like that. Again, I'd want to see that lower time frame distribution in those areas to obviously take the shorts. So now potential hedging situations. Again, my agenda ideally is for the shorts. If I take any buys, I'll probably risk a lot less, to be honest with you. So now potential intraday buys. We can see obviously we've had an accumulation occur. Right? We've had an accumulation. Prices accumulated. Now after this accumulation, we've also had a reaccumulation here. Right? This is that reaccumulation. We've had that manipulation of the lows followed by a breaker structure to the upside. Pardon me. So now what I'd want to see now is this is our leg that's maintaining obviously our structure 1.9400 to 1.95600 up here. So now if I'd want to potentially buy this, I believe is this 2-hour time frame? No, sorry, 3-hour, my bad. 3-hour institutional candle, right? Last sell before the up move. Now, again, same thing, but if I want to hedge myself, I'd have to see now that lower time frame accumulation followed by the BOS, and then we could take it higher. And again, I like that because it's going to rebalance price and it's going to take out traders as well. So yeah, if obviously this level doesn't accumulate and it breaks through, goes to the downside, then, well, it doesn't matter. You didn't take the trade. You know what I mean? And that's why we wait for the rules and wait for that whole element of proof. Waiting for that bad boy on GN too. Yeah, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, GN is sexy right now. Yeah, so that's that on GN. So again, if we take that buy, again, we have to be very specific with the accumulation, and obviously it'll be monitoring price, taking partials at these areas as well, and then seeing what it wants to do. What's next? NZDJPY. Higher time frame, I'm bullish on this, right? Higher time frame, I'm bullish on this. We've got equal highs again on the weekly up there. We've come into a weekly level of demand. We've seen nice proof of demand as well. So again, now for me to take any higher time frame buys, I'd want to see price again come into the, well, I think this is the weekly I see. Yeah, kind of trade into this weekly institutional candle. Maybe the 3-day was a lot clearer. Yeah, the 3-day. Come fill some imbalance. And obviously if we come and trade into this kind of demand zone down here and we accumulate, again, this is long term, and we accumulate, then we could obviously have a big boy target again, towards 83.800. Again, that actually supports GBP NZD as well, because obviously if NZD gains strength, GBP NZD will drop lower as well. That's a little bit of extra confidence there. Now, obviously, on more of like a intraday basis, resting liquidity at this high as well. Like that's why I want these highs taken. Resting liquidity. And it looks like we've accumulated as well, especially on the 4-hour. 1, 2, 3 drives to the downside. Invalidation of supply, right? Because again, supply sellers come in the market here. If supply was present, this should have taken price lower, but it failed, means demand stronger, meaning what? Boom. And this actually reacted off a gap as well. And you know, shout out John Dollery. You know that John Dollery, especially what John Dollery goes through with the gaps. So yeah, he's a goat. So cool. So on this again, on those intraday basis, again, because those equaled highs, I would risk less on a position like this as well. So what I'd want to see now to take any sort of short on this, any sort of shorts on this now, again, specific. We've got this bearish structure. Now, on the M15, I need to see this trendline liquidity get taken some way. So if it, now I want to see that trendline liquidity get taken. Like that's what I'm on. Now, I also want the distribution to occur in the area, probably on like the M1 time frame, specifically on this 77.700. If we get the M1 distribution in that area, where can our targets be? Well, we can actually start targeting a lot of imbalance down here. Our first target would be, if that plays out, would be this low here, 77226. Next target would be this kind of reaccumulation, 76973. And then obviously we can kind of come back and tap into that demand zone. Again, from there, if we see that accumulation manifest in the demand zone, again, we've got a big trade lining up for us as well on NJ. EG, what do we got on EG? Yeah, EG, obviously super high time frames, very bearish. We've got a massive distribution playing out since 2016. And what we're looking at now, kind of on the lower time frames, well, again, like we've got this, obviously got this high, led to our low down here, pulled back into a level of supply, distributed again on the hourly, created that nice distribution, 1, 2, 3 drives, break a structure, and validation of any sort of demand. Now, I am aware of this accumulation here, right? I am aware of this accumulation. So I'm not putting the okay. So if I want to see now this short, like from this level here, from 800, I want to see that play out. Again, I need to see again the distribution occur, because this could easily reaccumulate now. It could, and obviously come and fill some imbalance up to maybe 86400 region. So yeah, so be mindful of that. So again, if you want to take any shorts on this, you'd have to see those distribution occurs at these levels. And if the distribution occurs, we've seen proof of supply show up where supply is supposed to show up. And then obviously we can take that down to, if again that plays out, we could take that down to extend the target to around 84200 and take it from there. That's EG. ACAD, let's have a look. ACAD, nothing on the monthly that was really of my interest. Weekly, not really much. Daily, obviously we come into the supply zone here, manipulated highs, broke structure, created this leg down, and obviously we've started to distribute from this zone, right? So now I've got a couple areas marked up for ACAD, either just let's say like 9 to 850 for a potential distribution there. If we don't distribute there, my eyes would be on 93600. 93600, pull back to that kind of 886 fib level. And again, same thing with the proof. If I don't see distribution occur in those zones, I'm not looking to take that trade. See the chat. I think those trendline liquidities are pricing NJ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to see that. Yeah, of course. A lot of retail traders are looking at that, looking at these trend lines, saying, okay, let me wait for the third touch and I can short it. For me, I want to see it get clapped and manipulated. Now, of course, this could be the swing, but honestly, if we zoomed in somehow, but if we come up to this institutional candle, I wouldn't even bother playing that because it's so close to the liquidity there. So for me now, I'd want to see it distribute, take out that trend line liquidity, and then obviously take us lower. Went through EG, went through ACAD, ACAD, yep, those two levels. AJ, let's have a look on AJ. This is a bang on, what is this, like 160? One sec, let me refresh this. I don't know why I zoomed in so much. But yeah, man, like, if you guys got any currencies I haven't gone through and you want me to go through it, then let me know. Okay, I don't know why I zoomed in like this. Okay, anyway, we'll just deal with it. So where was we on? ACAD, we went through ACAD, AJ, yeah, this is a banger, absolute banger. If you guys want to go back test that, again, you're more than welcome. Absolute banger. So now, obviously, we can see on the higher time frames that supply is in control, right? Distributed, constantly just redistributing, distributing. So now, again, for me to take shorts on AJ, would now want to see a break of 79.750. If we can break this level here, then I would want it to pull back up to around 80.140. And if we see that distribution at that point here, around 80.140, again, it probably could come into some imbalance. It maybe could come to 80.30. If it comes to there, 80.300. If it comes to there, then yeah, we could get some shorts. But again, for this, I would need to see it clear this low first. If it doesn't clear that low first, I don't want it. So that's AJ. Maybe I'll make a video about this trade here. It's quite nice. 1.56. Wait, it was in the first, yeah. So if you guys want to go back and look at that, again, you're more than welcome. 1st of September, go back and look at that. We've got EN. What's the story with EN? So with EN, it's similar to GN in a sense. That higher time frame bearish narrative to take it lower, come into super high time frame supply. Obviously, this is that high that led to that low. This is the distribution that caused this whole thing. So yeah, now I'd want to see what would I want to see in this? What is it? Why is it doing this? Where's the pen? So yeah, sync on this now. I'd want to see that. I don't know why I think about this. It's zoomed in, it's weird. But yeah, for now we've got a potential accumulation, and the intent of this accumulation, for me, would be to come up to 1.700 to then short it back lower. So maybe in for some buyers this week. Probably what? Maybe on like Wednesday, a buy may play out for this for EN. And then obviously if we get that accumulation at 1.65780, then we can obviously take those equal highs, and obviously potentially target 1.700. EU. What we got for EU? EU, yeah, EU is looking quite nice. So on EU, I don't know why it's doing this, but yeah, on EU, we've got these equal highs that I want to get taken. So I'm looking at potentially hedging this thing down to around 1.700 to then see an accumulation occur. If accumulation occurs at 1.700, then of course I would look for some buys. And if we don't get that in the area, then I don't want it. But potentially now, if it pulls up to 1.7800 and distributes there, again, we could take that lower back around to the 1700 level, and then obviously look for some accumulations in there to take out that trend line liquidity, take out those equal highs. And again, that would be another big position on EU. NCAD, I don't think I've got even anything marked up on NCAD. No, this is just old. I'm going to unflag this. Nothing there. NCHEF. No, nothing on NCHEF either. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for what I'm looking at this week. I mean, let's get into the chat. So I want to look at gold on YouTube. Okay. This guy trades crosses. I can't see USD pairs. Euro USDG. And like, I don't care about US dollar pairs. Like, who cares about that? Like, I go through everything. And if there's a setup on USD pairs, there's a setup on USD pairs. If there's not, then I don't care what it is, I'll trade it. Like, it can be anything. But we can look at gold. I don't really trade gold like that, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Yeah, this thing's ugly, man. I had some levels marked up back there back in June. But like, yeah, I mean, we've got these equal lows there. So, I mean, there's equal highs. It's kind of trapped. So I don't really like this, to be honest with you. There's nothing really clean on for me on this. For gold. But definitely those equal lows to get taken. Maybe the internal liquidity will get ran first. Maybe we can see a kind of reaction. Let's see where we're at. Okay, we've got a big rejection here. So this is kind of that general area, and that's a pretty big area of demand. But if we can see a clean accumulation in this zone here, then we could gun for these highs. Maybe trade back up to some supply levels. Again, it's not the cleanest one, to be honest with you. There's nothing, this doesn't look too clean for me. But I'm just gonna go through it because you asked. Maybe take those equal highs and then come back and take those equal lows. So long term, yes, I'm bearish on it. But yeah, I don't trade gold too often, to be honest with you, bro. AU. I don't think I have anything on AU, to be honest with you, bro. That's what I do. Like every week, I'll go through literally everything. And if I don't see anything clear, then I'm not going to take the trade. Like I'm just not going to include it on my watch list. Like for me, it needs to be clean. Demand, rejection. How long left this month? 11 days. Okay. Weekly. Okay. Pull back into this potential demand zone. Okay. Okay, so we've got gap, we're at a gap now, slash this, confluence at this level. We've got, look on 3-day. Okay. It's an interesting level. 2-day. Okay. Maybe the 50% of this won't get respected, 7,200. So basically, yeah, looking at this now, again, we've got lower time frame is very bearish, right? Lower time frame is very, very bearish. So For me now to warrant any longs on something like this is kind of the situation I want to see. I'd want to see price invalidate this supply here, come down, start to maybe manipulate some more lows, break above 73200. Once we get this break above 73200, then I will see the pullback. And finally, after the pullback, we could target it higher. But to be honest, this is not, I didn't really have anything marked up on this. I mean, this is all right, to be fair. I'm probably gonna add this to my watch list, actually. But yeah, let's see what happens with AU. Again, if it doesn't break that high there, then you can just keep taking shorts. Like, again, I'm not going to like try and force it. I'm not going to try and catch every single move in the market. I just want to catch my moves. You know, it's not about catching every single move. So if you wanted to short it, potentially you could short it from, but there's a lot of trendline liquidity there. Like it's, again, like it's not high probable, so I wouldn't really want to short that. Yeah. So that's AU. Look at the chat. What's the criteria for a pair to be on the watch list? For just to be clean, bro. Just clean, to be honest with you. Like for those who are obviously in the mentorship, you guys know everything we look for, specifically where we do it, when we do it, why we do it. So it's just a very specific set of rules, bro. And if I don't see, like if I look at the currency and I'm not liking what I see, I'm not understanding it, if it's not clean, then I don't want it. Like, I'm just not going to add it on my watch list. Because I'm more of a swing trader and I get scalp entries. What are the gray boxes you've drawn? The gray boxes are either supply or demand levels, meaning areas where potential buyers or sellers can show up. I don't know if you guys can see it on Zoom, but I actually created, and the reason it's gray is because I don't want any like emotional bias to it. Like colors, the psychology of colors, this is an actual thing. Like the colors you look at, that's why my candlestick's not green and red. Like psychology of colors. And if you actually know about color psychology, just looking at certain colors can have effects on your mood. So yeah, so obviously, let's say for example, red, right? You see a big red candlestick on the chart, right? Excitement, energy. You don't want to be excited and have energy when you trade. You want to be locked in, focused, rather than be excited to press a button. So yeah, little things like that, and yeah, and that's why they're gray. But they're just levels of potential supply or demand. I do have a very faintly blue, very faintly though, just to like so I know it's demand. But that's why the whole box is gray. The green one of gaps, true market inefficiencies. Again, if you guys go on Go Live and watch John Dollery's stuff, he'll talk about that. What pairs would you emphasis on this week? Literally everything I just went through, bro. These ones here. Nothing on GU. Let me have a look. I don't think so. Nothing really. Nothing really. I mean, potential reaccumulation on the high. Obviously, there's markups on it, yeah, but there's nothing really warranting me for buys. I mean, like they're super clean. Because yeah, like we're kind of distributed now, so yeah, it's just a bit unclear for me, man. Like I don't know, it's a bit unclear. Like, cause like if I'm seeing equal highs up there, I'm seeing coming into a market gap like that. I'm seeing break of structure on the 4 hour. Looking at something like this now to try and short it's just, I don't know, like it's not super high probable for me. I'm a bit unsure. That's why I'm just not even going to call out levels for it. And that's where, like, as a trader, you just got to know like your limits, man. Yeah. Do you do funded account management? Not at the moment. Eventually, I will have my own hedge fund, but not right now. USD ZAR. How was this? I've never seen this in my life. South African rand. Okay. This is interesting. Let's have a look. What's dollar index doing? So if we're looking at US dollar, we want to look at the index. Let's strength on the weekly. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty aggressive. So that means potentially USD ZAR could want to go higher. But again, obviously it's got the ZAR in it, so that could affect it. Traded into this demand zone here. So we've got some strength on the monthly. Ooh. weekly. Okay, we've got supply here. So I'm just trying to see who's in control, right? Who's in control, buyers or sellers. If I can't see who's in control, then I'm not going to look at the trade. Like, I'm not going to try and force it. Now, okay, we had a daily breaker, 4 hour / daily breaker structure here. Okay, we're seeing supply sharp where it wants to. So, wait, what time frame is this? Daily, okay. Let's go to 3 days. Okay, so I can see this 3 hour institutional candle. Find that like that. So thought process on this, again, as it's at monthly demand. So again, I'm going to be mindful of that potential reaccumulation to occur. But looking at this now, the shorts may be a bit more stronger. If for the swing, wait, so we manipulate liquidity. We traded into where? I'm trading into this. Okay, so my thought process with this, again, like US dollar, I was a little bit unsure, like if I'm honest with the direction. That's why I'm not going to put it on my watch list. Like if I've got a little bit of, like, what I've learned through my trades and my journaling is if I've ever got a setup where I'm unsure and I take it, but I just take it, it's a loss. So for me, I've learned to use my emotions and or just my feet. That's how I am in the market as a signal, right? If I'm unsure, if I'm uncertain, I'm not even going to add it to my watch list. That's why I am. If you guys looking at setup and you're unsure of it, it means it doesn't meet your rules. It's like you know what I'm saying. I don't want subpar setups, man. I want high quality setups. And that's the thing as traders, right? We can feel unproductive if we're sitting on our hands all day, and that's why like trading, like, it's good, but again, you don't need to be staring at the chart all day long. I mean, you got to define your type of trading as well. But like, just because you didn't place a trade doesn't mean you're unproductive. Again, like a lot of traders come into this with a desire to make money quickly. They want to, do X, Y, and Z. Of course, don't get me wrong. It's a wealth vehicle. It's the largest financial market in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, but don't come into it with, because if it was easy, everyone would do it, and I'm being real with you guys. Like, most traders fail. And most traders fail because they can't manage their emotions. They can't manage their greed. They can't manage their fear. They're too hyper to take trades. I'm a guy of high energy, but when I'm behind the chart, I'm a zombie. I'm zoom. Do I get this? No. Cool. Move on. So I hope that kind of helps you guys with your psychology a little bit. But so I think on USDs are now, yes, we could see obviously supply come up. If again it distributes here, again it could go lower. But on something like that, I don't know, man. Like okay, let me put it like this, right? If you got like an hourly distribution, a 4 hour distribution in that level, and then so like this, okay. If you got something like this, and then in here again on the M1, you've got another distribution. Okay, cool. And the risk rewards like 1 to 20, 1 to 30, 1 to 40 plus. Cool. Take the risk. I'm without not being a financial advisor, but yeah, like if it's not something like that, I wouldn't take it. And it has to. And someone asked about rules as well. It has to be a minimum risk reward for me. Minimum 1 to 10. I don't take anything less than a 1 to 10 personally. Yeah. Do you still apply smart money concepts to crypto and indices? Of course. Smart money concepts is understanding the natural order flow of the market, right? Every single market respects the same order flow. It's the same composite operators. It's the same people you're trading against. The banks, institutions, hedge funds, right? The market makers, and they trade. Their algorithms happen in a certain way, because what you got to realize with trading is a two-sum game. Meaning, for you to make money, someone has to be on the losing side of it. For you to lose money, someone has to be on the winning side of that. So what you got to understand is smart money concepts are like, smart money concepts is not even a strategy, bro. It's a mindset. It's understanding that where's most loss going to occur. And if you can see areas where most of the loss is going to occur, like, look, imagine if everyone's calling out the same level, like it's probably time to get out. Like, for example, on Bitcoin, right? Remember when everyone was buying Bitcoin, everyone was a crypto guru? I was thinking, wait a minute. Okay, we should be due a correction now. Then we see a distribution. And everyone's getting in the market on social media. Everyone's a crypto guru. My taxi driver's talking about crypto. Hey, bro, you got Bitcoin? You know about Bitcoin? I'm like, okay, now I see distribution. Let me start thinking about taking some profits on this. Now, obviously, when everyone's fearful and I'm seeing accumulation, understanding the 4-year cycles, it's like, okay, yes, we're at a good time to potentially be buying. Again, not a financial advisor. So yes, bro, you can apply it to anything. What if it's got a candlestick on it, bro? It all trades the same. Like I don't care. Like I don't care what it is. It can be rice, wheat. It can be COVID-19 cases, bro. Like it will respect institutional candles every single time. Wykoff. Do you trade rejected OB? If you can clarify what a rejected OB is, please let me know, bro. I don't familiar with that terminology. You trade German 30. No, I'm more of a like currency trader, bro. I have cryptos. I look at cryptos a lot, but for margin trading, I'm MetaTrader 4. It's just Forex. Like it's the most liquid market in the world. Like you know what I'm saying? But we can look at German 30 though. This, I guess it's this one. I literally don't trade this. Okay. Well, we don't know monthly, weekly. Okay. So this is kind of this daily kind of leg we're in, potentially reaccumulation. Pardon me. Again, this could distribute. Again, we'll know if it distributes if it clears this lower. But obviously, like with stocks and commodities, they're 95. Well, on the higher time frame, like they're always bullish because you got to think, right? When it comes to stocks, right, and commodities, like well, rather like things like indices, right? US 30, S&P 500. What are they? The German 30 is the top 30 stocks in Germany. So a company, as a CEO of a company, what's your goal? Your goal is to make profit. So if your goal is to make profit, that means the value of your company is going to go up. That means your stock price is going to go up. So with the German 30, what they do, and again, US 500, S&P 500, etc., is if a company is underperforming, they just take it off. They take it off the list. So long term, of course, you get these corrections and stuff, but long term, they go up. I'm not a financial advisor, right? But looking at this on more of like a level you can kind of trade it on. Yeah, we're coming into this institutional candle on the 2-day. Oops. So again, if you're going to trade this, make sure your broker's like good. What the hell is this? I don't know what I just put on the chart, but okay, I can deal with it. So yeah, obviously in the higher time frames, supply and demand is in control. Sorry, demand's in control, but on the lower time frame, supply is in control. So something like this, to warrant any buys, I'd want to see it pull back, break above the supply zone, come down and go higher. So yeah, that's German 30, brother. I think Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's go. Let's talk about Bitcoin then. Let's go, Papa. You want to talk Bitcoin? Okay, we talk Bitcoin. So firstly, before I show you anything, I'm gonna show you this. Bitcoin's bearish, right? It's never been bearish. It's never been bearish. I mean, like in a small cycle, maybe for a year or 2 years, but that's just a retracement. Now, what you gotta understand about this on the higher time frames is what you're trading. You're trading the growth of a technology. You're trading the growth of a technology, right? When you come to Bitcoin now, okay, Bitcoin, you gotta have a bit of fundamental knowledge with it, and then you can apply your smart money concepts. Once you've got the good foundation, okay, cool. Then you can obviously apply your smart money. Oops, no. That's curve technology. So what this is understanding here that you're seeing the adoption of a new technology, right? For example, when the iPhone first came out, right? I remember when the iPhone came out, I think I had it was a Nokia, bro. It was a Nokia. I didn't have a camera on it. I had to plug the camera in the bottom. You have a camera. And then I got the LG Cookie. And then I got the BlackBerry. And then I think I finally got an iPhone. But I didn't have the first iPhone that came out. I think I had like the 6, I don't know when it was. But anyway, what I'm saying is this: when the first iPhone come out, not everyone had it. Now, everyone's got an iPhone, unless you're an Android user, right? But again, that's a convo for another day. So what I'm kind of getting at, guys, is over time, it got adopted. So same thing with Bitcoin. Because it's an actual technology, more and more people are adopting it. I believe less than 10% of the population actually know what crypto is and own crypto. Like, if you own over 0.3 Bitcoin, you're in the top 1% of the world. If you own over 0.3 Bitcoin, you're in the top 1% of the world. So Like, guys, it's nuts what we're dealing with here. So when that manifests on the chart now, you're seeing the growth of a technology. You're seeing 4-year cycles based on the mining reward schedules. Oh, you guys, y'all want the source? Okay, y'all want the source. So when it comes to the mining reward schedules, you get 4-year bull and bear markets. We are literally mimicking 2013 price action to an absolute T. You know, in 2013, so let me just move this thing out of the way. In 2013, we obviously bull market, right? Broke all-time high, corrected in June, July, August, September, started slowly building. Everyone's like, it's bearish, it's bearish, it's bearish. And then from October to November, December, we had another 1,300% rally. Then it crashed at the end of the cycle. Now check this out. Look what we did this year. All-time high. Broke the all-time high, had that 60% correction. Everyone's bearish again. Now remember the months. July, August, September, right? What happened? August, September, slow rally. And then October, boom, took off. You guys like those sound effects. and then yeah, so like obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but now let's build out a narrative based on that. Now we've got the higher time frame stuff out of the way. Now let's get into the actual smart money concepts. What broker have I got this stuff on? One sec. Bitstamp. Oh, maybe. Okay, Bitstamp. Okay, so boom, we come into a daily level of demand. We accumulated in that daily demand zone. We accumulated, we shook everyone out. The emotion was very bearish. Now, it looks like we're setting up for a reaccumulation for me. Now, again, I could be wrong. Hey, look, I could be wrong. No one's perfect. But for me, like, guys, on the high, like, what you got to realize here, what's actually happening with the amount of orders in the market now with Bitcoin, you can actually see basically the flow of money from wallets. Less people are selling right now. More and more people are starting to accumulate. Like, we're at a point right now where exchanges are starting to run out of crypto. Like, the demand is very, very strong right now. So give it to October, we're going to see some parabolic price action. And the reason, like, again, I could be wrong here, but the reason I'm targeting Bitcoin to 300K by the end of this year is because everyone thinks it won't. Everyone thinks it won't. Everyone thinks it won't hit it. Everyone. Every person I tell that to says, what? That's crazy. Yeah, motherfucker, it's crazy. It was crazy. It was because it's the emotional cycle. Observe the masses do the opposite. You got, like, guys, if you're in a game where 95% of people are wrong. 95% of people are wrong in this industry. So you got, like, I even heard someone say once, yeah, if you lose a lot of your trades, start doing the opposite of your own trades and you'll start winning. Like, think about that for a second. Like, so what I'm saying is that everyone's bearish on Bitcoin right now. To me, that only makes sense for it to go higher. It only makes sense. And then at the end of the year, because imagine this, imagine how many people get washed out. Everyone said, well, most of the people were selling right now, right? Then we break an all-time high again. Everyone's like, well, what the hell just happened? Bitcoin's going crazy. Everyone starts FOMOing in again. Boom, imagine when you see it go from 100 to 200 to 300K in a matter of 2 weeks. Do you know how when it was at 60K, everyone was going crazy. Imagine it goes to 300K in a month, 2 months. We've got, how many months do we have to the end of the year? Like, you know, I mean, we haven't got that many months at the end of the year. Let's have a look. September, October, November, December. like you're gonna see some wild price hikes. Now, I could be wrong, right? But I'd rather be wrong if Bitcoin goes to 0 than it'd be wrong if it goes to 300 grand. Because it's binary. Bitcoin either works and keeps rising or it completely crashes and dies. Like, there's no other option. That's Bitcoin for you. So what I'm kind of getting at now is we've had that accumulation. It looks like we're reaccumulating as well. It really looks like we're starting to reaccumulate, to be honest with you. We kind of took out this liquidity, manipulated some lows. I mean, we could have another dip down. We could retrace. And like, historically, it never, like, because what you got to realize is the growth of the network. Bitcoin never, ever, after it breaks an all-time high, it never, ever, I'll say this a million times. It never, let me go on the high time. It never disrespects the 127 on the fib. Low, high, low. And this is the growth of the network. Check it out. Breaks all-time high. Again, let's use a break and retest, for example, right? But price supply turns to demand and the 127 holds, because Fibonacci, like, when you're looking at a technology now, the growth of the technology, Fibonacci is life. It is literally just the pattern of life, right? The pattern of life. Now, when you combine this with supply and demand, it gets naughty, right? If you look at Fibonacci in nature, it's everywhere, bro. Like Fibonacci is the universe, it's the shell. It's make a fist right now. Make a fist. It's the spiral in your hand. It's the distance between your wrist and your elbow. It's every single where in life. So what happens is the markets create these cycles as well. And once Bitcoin breaks this 127 extension, it always comes back and use it. Look where we are. We can also use this cycle as well. Look at that. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm not a financial advisor. I could be wrong. But all of the signs right now, and look at that on the week, bro. Look at this higher time frame. That does not look too bearish to me. Like this little candle. It's this. It's this little shakeout here. That's this little shakeout here. So yeah, let me check the chat. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. US yeah, I'll put this on YouTube. GBP USD breakdown would be very beneficial for me. I think we already went over GU. Guys, I'm going to call it a day soon. But if you guys do have any other currencies you want me to go through that I haven't, please let me know. Any questions, because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. I got you, Joseph. So yeah, yeah. Honestly, bro, like I'm just gonna break it down. Obviously on the weekly, monthly time frame. Again, shout out to Pips the Persian, my mentor Mehdi, for showing me this on GU. Obviously, we had equal lows, liquidity run, demand break. So potentially GU super long term, very bullish. Like super, like yeah, maybe we'll see. But if we're going more to like a tradable time frame, we'll come into this weekly level of demand here. Daily, we've obviously built equal lows. We've ran the liquidity on the equal lows. We've also reacted off a prior gap in the market, a true market inefficiency. And then obviously we've come up from the institutional candle and we form liquidity. So looking at this now, yeah, obviously you guys can see I had this prior demand zone here. I was wanting to see that get held. It did actually react, but it come up, manipulated equal highs and dropped. But again, there wasn't anything that warranted me for any buys. Because again, that's the thing. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about knowing when to trade. And then from there, I mean, I've got 1.36440 marked up. I haven't got an alert set on it, but I think I'm gonna set an alert on it just in case. Now with this, I'm going to be very strict on the accumulation. If I don't get a very clean accumulation during London or New York, preferably on a Wednesday. If it's not on a Wednesday, then that wouldn't be too deep on it. Like I've taken bangers on a Sunday market open. You know, I passed FTMO during an Asian session. But I've found over my time where I've journaled my trades, there's certain criteria that play a little bit better with time and price than others. But one question before you go: best advice to learn smart money? Yeah, bro. Shoot me a message on Instagram, bro. My Instagram is literally just IK Davis. This is my only account, by the way. There's a lot of fake accounts going around right now, family. And I don't message people first. I don't go around, I don't ask for investments. The only thing I'll do is teach you and obviously give you the course. And obviously there's a price for the course, but that's it. Like we don't charge investments. I'm not gonna trade your money for you. Like, and if you don't hear my voice, if you literally don't hear my voice, you don't hear me speak if you don't speak on WhatsApp with me, it's not me. If you don't speak on WhatsApp with me, it's not me. It's not me. We're gonna speak on WhatsApp. But yeah, yeah, bro. I went through a whole course. I went through a whole academy. I had a mentor. So if you want me to show you how I learned, bro, just message me on there, and I'll show you everything, bro. How much is the price of the course? Tell them more about your mentorship. Yeah, bro, we do have one-to-one mentorship. We have group mentorship as well. We have live sessions every single day where we give out trade levels every single day. But if you want more about that, like I said, just go and message me on Instagram. We'll see if you're a good fit. If you're a good fit, then yo, let's run it out, man. Message me on Instagram now. We'll take it from there. Again, that's my only account. there's no others, right? Like it's funny actually. I'll tell you guys this story just whilst we're here. When I was in my old villa, I'm in Bali right now. I was in my old villa. The fake account was actually messaging one of my teammates. And we actually got on the call with this guy, yeah, and this guy did not sound like me whatsoever. This guy, like, no disrespect to Nigeria, but this guy was from Nigeria. I don't think I sound Nigerian. I don't think I sound Nigerian. I think I sound pretty British. But yeah, like if you don't hear my British voice on the phone, guys, it's really not me. If you haven't got Instagram, you can WhatsApp me. You can WhatsApp my business, my WhatsApp business. You have to contact me on here. My WhatsApp business is 447-9688-35403. You'll get an automated response telling you to book a call. On Calendly, just book the call on there, bro, and we'll hop on the phone. We'll have a quick chat and really see what's possible, man. But any other questions regarding charts or trading? What time frames are you looking to see accumulation or distribution on? Bro, like to answer that question, normally, okay, I'm gonna answer it in two ways. Normally, I like to see higher time frame accumulation and then see a lower time frame accumulation to support that to get my entry. But it doesn't matter what time frame you want. Like it really doesn't. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. You trade the 1 minute like you trade the weekly. Trade the weekly like the 4 hour. The time frame is not that irrelevant. What's relevant is building your narrative first. If you can build a narrative and you know exactly kind of what's your overall narrative and you can see what you want to see, then yeah. Yeah, that's it. He said, Joseph, get your ass moving and start watching lots of videos about it. Practice every day. The trick is, yeah, bro, that's it. If you want to succeed, you just got to put the work in, bro. That's it. I mean, my thing was this. I don't know what kill zone is, to be honest with you. Oh, if you mean in terms of time, like certain times to execute, then yes. I have taken trades outside of those kind of optimal times. But if I ever do take a trade during Asian, which is very rarely, then I've greatly reduced the risk. Greatly reduced the risk. So yeah, obviously, yeah, like my main kill zones would be between so obviously, okay, London session, the first, so okay, so I'll only do this in UK times because that's what I'm used to, but between 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. UK time, that's 9, 8, 10:30, no, sorry, 8, sorry, my bad, 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and then 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. UK time. That's the sweet spots. Yeah, that's the sweet spots. Like normally, especially New York session, you get those continuation plays. But yeah. Unless there's any more questions, and I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds to ask questions. If not, we'll call it a day. I look forward to connecting you guys. If you guys have got value so far, definitely guys go on Instagram, shag me on your stories. Again, tag me in your stories. I'll repost you guys, and we'll take it from there, bro. Could you specify your rules? Bro, Lenny, shoot me a message. We'll hop on a call together, bro. Because for me to go through my specific rules, I can't do that now, bro. We don't have time for that. That's gonna take me like 5 hours, bro. Like, to be honest with you, to explain everything. But yeah, bro. Again, if you want to know about my mentorship, message me. I'll teach from there. I'm gonna stop the recording there. Stop the stream on YouTube and just keep it on Zoom now. So guys, if you're on YouTube,